The Porsche 997 is the internal designation for the Porsche 911 model manufactured and sold by German manufacturer Porsche between 2004 and 2012. Production of the Carrera and Carrera S coupe copyright S began in early 2004. All-wheel drive Carrera 4 and Carrera 4S versions began shipping in November 2005. Turbo and GT3 derivatives went on sale in late 2006 and the 911 GT2 in 2007. In addition to the coupe and cabriolet versions, Targa versions of the Carrera 4 and Carrera 4S were also available, which carry on with a glass canopy roof design used on all Targa 911s since the Type 993 Generation 911. During 2009 Porsche made comprehensive changes to the 997 lineup which included small styling changes, increases in engine displacement across the board, the addition of direct injection and the introduction of the company's new PDK dual-clutch transmission. As a result, the updated 997 models were faster, lighter and more fuel-efficient than the outgoing versions and have somewhat better handling. In the case of the 997 Turbo, a comprehensively retuned all-wheel drive system with an optional torque vectoring system was also a part of the upgrades package. In an October 2009 preliminary review, Car and Driver magazine estimated that when equipped with the PDK transmission, the updated Turbo should be capable of going from 0-60 mph in 3 seconds. The 997 is the most commercially successful 911 of all time, having sold 100,000 units between its introduction in 2005 and July 2007. It has also received mostly positive reviews from the worldwide motoring press. Even British motoring journalist Jeremy Clarkson, a known detractor of Porsche vehicles, noted that the 997 will make love to your fingertips and stir your soul. First generation, design. While the exterior styling is slightly changed compared to the 996, it is again more evolution rather than revolution. Typical of Porsche and the Carrera. The rear bodywork is a total of 88 mm wider than its predecessor. However, the most notable aesthetic difference between the 997 and the 996 is the return to circular headlights like those of pre-996 Carreras, with separate indicator units. The interior has been almost entirely reinvented and all the controls are new. However, it is more reminiscent of classic 911 interiors than of the outgoing 996. The body in general remains low profile with a drag coefficient of 0.29 for the Carrera and 0.30 for the Carrera S. Performance. The base Carrera has essentially the same 3,596 cc flat-six engine from Type 996 Carrera. The Carrera S uses a new 3,824 cc flat-six engine. The X51 power kit is available for S, 4S, Targa models, which increases engine power. According to testing carried out by several American automotive publications, the Turbo model can accelerate from 0 to 100 km/h in about 3.4 seconds with a dual clutch and 3.5 seconds with the manual transmission. The Carrera S model is capable of going 0 to 60 mph in 4.7 seconds, and carries a top speed of 300 km/h, while the base Carrera model has 0 to 60 mph acceleration in 4.8 seconds, with a top speed of 180 mph. Note, however, that these figures are conservative Porsche figures. The viscous clutch all-wheel drive system sends between 5% and 40% of engine torque to the front wheels as needed. Cabriolet. For the first time, development of the cabriolet version of the 997 led the design and engineering effort at Porsche with a coupe following. Porsche applied the logic that if you started with the more difficult cabriolet challenges, the coupe version would simply be that much more rigid. Despite additional weight, the cabriolet versions attain nearly the same performance figures as their coupe counterparts. Even the rear tail comes up slightly higher on the cabriolets to compensate for differences in drag over the canvas top versus the smoother coupe shape. 911 Club Coupe. It is a limited version of 2006 My Carrera S coupe copyright with X51 power kit commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Porsche Club of America. The vehicle includes a Sara California colored body, a vehicle identification number which ends with the production number and special commemorative badging and door sills which adorn the interior, Sport Chrono Package Plus system, optional Porsche ceramic composite brakes. The car number 1 was transferred to the Porsche Museum in Stuttgart, Germany, and one PCA member won the car number 50 in a sweepstakes drawing. The remaining 48 units were sold to randomly chosen US and Canadian PCA members. After August 15, 2005, unsold units were made available to the general public. The vehicle was unveiled in PCA's 50th annual Porsche Parade in Hershey, PA. The vehicle has MSRP of $99,911 US and 145,911 Canadian dollars. Targa. The Targa 4 and Targa 4S versions, like the Porsche 911 Targa of the 993 and 996 generations, are equipped with a glass roof and hatch. At any speed, the roof can be opened where it drops down an inch and slides a meter back underneath the hatch. As the roof weighs an additional 60 kg, the suspension has been modified from Carrera models. When the glass roof is retracted, a small glass deflector above the windshield is raised to aid in aerodynamic stability. Unlike previous versions of the Porsche 911 Targa, the Porsche 997 Targa 4 and Targa 4S have an all-wheel drive drivetrain, hence the 4 in the name. The naming is to fit in with the naming trend of other Porsche models, namely the Carrera 4 and Carrera 4S, whose 4 in the names are also due to their all-wheel drive systems. Targa 4 models are slightly slower than the hardtop Carrera models because of the heavier roof and all-wheel drive drivetrain. GT3. The 997 GT3 model also debuted in Geneva in 2006. Like previous GT3 models, it is a way for Porsche to homologate aerodynamic features for racing, as well as a starting model for customer racing. The 997 GT3 was priced at $106,000. The engine has the same displacement as the turbo, but without turbocharger and uses a new variable intake system. The engine is rated at 415 PS and 405 Nm. It has an 8400 rpm's readline which is the same as the 612 bhp Carrera GTs. The 3.6L dry sump engine does not seem to share the rear main seal problems of the earliest 3.6L/3.8L semi-dry sump engines. The GT3 body includes a special front bumper which increases cooling for the front-mounted radiators as well as a split spoiler at the rear. The GT3 also includes a special rear bumper and center tailpipes which draw heat away from the engine. It is lowered and rides on 30 series 305mm tires on 19 wheels. The car weighs 3075 lb. The 997 GT3 is more driver-friendly than its predecessor, with comfort seats and the Porsche communication management system installed. The Special RS model came without most of these luxuries to focus more on track-orientated driving. The package also included a full roll cage and carbon fiber seats to add to that race car for the road feel. The RS version was released in Europe in October 2006. The North American release was in March 2007. A racing version of the GT3 RS debuted in 2007, and it was called the 997 GT3 RSR. The ratios on the 6-speed transmission are more aggressive, allowing the GT3 to reach 60 mph in 4.1 seconds, while the RS accomplishes the same in exactly 4. It will continue to 100 mph in 9.2 seconds and has an ungoverned top speed of 310 km/h. Turbo. The 997 Turbo debuted in February 2006 at the Geneva Motor Show. It featured a new front bumper with LED turn signal strips in the air intakes. The fog lamps were moved to the corners of the bumpers. Large air intakes fore and aft of the rear wheels provided other obvious visual cues of the turbo model. Also featured was a retractable rear wing, as used on the 996 Turbo. The engine was based on the rugged and reliable 964/GT1 design rated 480 PS and 620 Nm. The turbochargers are fitted with a two-stage resonance intake system. The engine uses two Borg-Warner VTG turbos, a first for Porsche. The variable turbine geometry incorporates guide vanes on the turbine wheel that change their angle of attack with exhaust speed, reducing boost lag at low speeds while opening up to prevent excessive back pressure at higher PMs. Such variable geometry turbines were previously only available on diesel engines. The optional Sport Chrono package allows the 911 turbo to overboost for 10 seconds, increasing peak torque over a narrower PM range. According to official Porsche figures, the 997 turbo accelerates to 100 km/h in 3.7 seconds with the manual transmission, and 3.4 seconds with the PDK dual-clutch transmission. It also recorded a 60 mph time of 3.2 seconds when tested by Motor Trend, eclipsing all of its major competitors and even Porsche's own Carrera GT supercar. The 997 turbo has an official top speed of 318 km/h, though Jeremy Clarkson achieved an indicated speed of 322 km/h during his 2008 video special, Clarkson, Thriller. Turbo Cabriolet. Porsche AG announced on May 7, 2007 that the 911 Turbo Cabriolet would go on sale in September 2007. The Porsche 997 Turbo Cabriolet became one of the fastest convertible sports cars in production. It is capable of similar top speeds and acceleration to the standard Porsche 997 Turbo Coupe, a notable feat due to the typical problems associated with convertible variants of hardtop coupe copyright S, such as the poor aerodynamics of a soft top, a lack of torsional rigidity, and the consequential weight increase from structural members. GT2. This is the most powerful and fastest road-going 911 GT2 ever to be sold to the public. The Porsche 996-911 GT2 was superseded by the 997 generation GT2, on sale since November 2007. The 997 GT2 has a twin-turbocharged 3.6-litre six-cylinder engine based on 997 turbo, but Porsche achieved power increase through completely newly designed expansion intake manifold in which the distributor pipe is longer than in turbo and the intake manifolds are shorter. A full titanium silencer is used also in GT2, even though the Porsche 911 Carrera S variant has a slightly larger engine at 3.8 litres. Despite the power hike, Porsche claims fuel consumption at full throttle is improved by 15% compared with the turbo. The GT2 accelerates in 3.6 seconds to 60 mph and in 7.4 seconds to 100 mph and has top speed of 329 km/h. This makes it the first Porsche 911 GT2 to exceed the 200 mph top speed after the 1998 Porsche 911 GT1 race version. The Porsche 997 GT2 has a coupe weight of 1,440 kg. The only transmission choice is a 6-speed manual gearbox. The GT2 is the first Porsche equipped with launch control. Its appearance is slightly different from its sister car, the Porsche 911 Turbo, in a few ways. It does not have fog lights in the front bumper, it has a revised front lip, it has a larger rear wing, and it has a different rear bumper. Engines. Models with turbocharged engines include variable turbine geometry turbochargers. Models. Note: 0-60 mph acceleration times refer to the time taken to reach 60 mph. Note: MSRP prices are set to the United States. In Europe prices are considerably higher and in some countries can even be double the American price. Note: wet sump in Orbit GT3, GT3 RS, GT2 and turbo versions which have a dry sump, with an external oil reservoir and 7 pumps instead of only 3 in the less powerful versions. Second generation. The 997 was revised in 2008 for the 2009 model year. The updated Porsche 911 included following changes: a new engine for the S is mounted 0.4 inch lower in the tail section, a revised suspension, a revised front bumper with larger air intakes, headlamps with newly optional dual HID projectors, a new LED tail lamp shape, and LED turn signals, new direct injection engines with redesigned Porsche Sport exhaust, redesigned PCM system with optional touchscreen hard drive navigation. Tiptronic S option was replaced by PDK 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. Production began at late 2008. Pricing was increased from the 997 General I. The base Carrera model is set to start at $76,300 for North American buyers. Initially available models include coupe and cabriolet versions of Carrera, Carrera 4, Carrera S and Carrera 4S. The car was unveiled at the Paris Auto Show in September 2008. On June 6, 2008, these changes to the Porsche 911 were revealed on the Porsche website. The turbo will have to wait until the Frankfurt show in September, thereafter the turbo-based GT2 will be updated. Targa. The updated Targa 4 and Targa 4S models were announced on 28 July 2008. The new Targa 4S has a top track speed of 185 mph and goes 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, while the Targa 4 has a lower top speed. Turbo Cabriolet. The facelifted version of the 997 Turbo was unveiled at the 2009 Frankfurt Motor Show. It received a completely new six-cylinder, 3.8-litre boxer engine delivering 500 HP with revised Borg-Warner variable turbine geometry turbos. The 911 Turbo is now only available with a manual gearbox or the optional 7-speed PDK dual-clutch gearbox, which replaces the Tiptronic. With PDK and the also optional Sport Chrono package, which includes the availability of an electronically controlled launch control and an overboost function for temporarily increasing the turbo pressure, Porsche claims the 911 Turbo will go from 0 to 100 km/h in 3.4 seconds and reach a top speed of 194 mph. However, several tests done by auto magazines and impartial testers have revealed that the 0–100 km/h acceleration time is generally as low as 2.9 seconds. The model can now also be ordered with PTV, Porsche torque vectoring, which will brake the inner wheel to provide turning torque through a curve. The looks of the facelifted model was left mostly untouched from the original 997 Turbo, but there are subtle changes to the rear lights, now being LED type, among changes to the front lamps. The rear exhaust outputs are now also fatter, and the standard 19-inch wheels now have a new design. Thanks to revised dynamics, the facelifted 997 can handle 1.3 G-forces on a skid pad according to Porsche. It's believed that the updated 997 Turbo was benchmarked against the Nissan GT-R in response to third-party testing between the 997 Turbo and the GT-R. Models equipped with PDK also include an optional 3-spoke steering wheel with gear shift paddles as an alternative to the standard steering wheel with shift buttons. Other optional equipment include Porsche torque vectoring. Production versions went on sale in Germany in November 2009. European models have MSRP of $122,400 for coupe copyright and $131,800 for the cabriolet. Turbo S. This high-spec limited edition Turbo was released at the Geneva Motor Show in March 2010. Available only with a 7-speed PDK transmission, the Turbo S boosts power by 30 HP to a total of 530 HP and an impressive torque of 700 Nm. European deliveries are scheduled for May 2010 while production ending in fall 2012. Porsche's fastest released production vehicle to date. 0 to 60 mph acceleration, 2.6 seconds. Maximum torque of 516 lb-ft in the 911 Turbo S models is available between 2,100 rpms and 4,250 rpms. The 911 Turbo S models, by contrast, are configured to operate with a higher boost pressure level, which means that their maximum torque of 516 lb-ft is available for an unlimited period. GT3. The 2010 Porsche 911 GT3 was unveiled at the 2009 Geneva Motor Show, available in Europe from May, in the US from October. To make the GT3 safe for less experienced drivers, the stability control system is available on the 2010 model year GT3 for the first time. Changes to the exterior are only subtle, still recognizable, bringing about aerodynamic improvements. Total downforce has been doubled. Power output rises from 415 to 435 picoseconds with the new 3.8L engine. GT3 RS. It is a version of GT3 with more engine power, lower weight and shorter transmission ratios, as well as upgraded body and suspension components, designed for homologating the race version of the 911 GT3. Engine was rated 450 PS with 8500 RPMs readline. The RS stands for the German Rennsport, meaning racing sport in English. The transmission has shorter ratios than found in the 911 GT3 for improved acceleration. Dynamic engine mounts are standard and serve to improve the car's handling to an even higher level. Other features include PASM suspension, a titanium crankshaft, a wider front and rear track and corresponding bodywork. Optional equipment include lithium-ion battery, which is 10 kg lighter than stock lead-acid battery. The vehicle was unveiled in 2009 Frankfurt Motor Show. US model was set to go on sale in early spring of 2010 with MSRP of $132,800. GT3 Coupe. It is a Porsche Carrera Cups race car based on 911 GT3 RS. It includes 44 mm wider rear body, 15 mm lower front spoiler lip, 1.70 am rear wing, LED taillights, racing exhaust system with a fully controlled catalytic converter, a modified special exhaust system offering more dynamic and muscular sound, Porsche ceramic composite brakes, 9.5 front alloy wheels with 24/64-18 Michelin racing tires and 12 alloy wheels with 27/68-18 tires, additional honourable joints on the track control arms and front and rear sword-shaped anti-roll bars with 7 position settings each, additional vent in the upper part of the front lid, steering wheel mounted info display with 6 switches. Carrara white body. The vehicle was unveiled in 2009 Frankfurt Motor Show. Production model began delivery in 2009 October. European model has base MSRP of $149,850. 911 Sport Classic. It is a limited version of 911 Carrera S Coupe copyright, inspired by the 1973 Carrera RS 2.7. The engine is rated 408 PS via newly developed resonance intake manifold with 6 vacuum-controlled switching flaps. It includes 6-speed manual transmission, double-dome roof, 44 mm wider rear body, sport design front apron with spoiler lip and the rear spoiler fixed in position, PCCB Porsche ceramic composite brakes, 20 mm lower PASM sports suspension, mechanical rear axle differential, 19-inch wheels with black rim spokes, Porsche exclusive woven leather seats and door panels, dashboard with espresso nature natural leather upholstery, sport classic grey body color. The vehicle was unveiled in 2009 Frankfurt Auto Show. Production vehicles went on sale in January 2010. European model had base MSRP of $169,300. Top Gear featured the car during season 15's second episode on July 4, 2010. 911 Carrera GTS. For 2011, Porsche launched a new, mid-level 911 coming in above the Carrera and below the GT3. Ranging from $103,100 to $112,900 USD, the Carrera GTS is available as both a coupe and cabriolet. The car gets a wider body and track, the only Carrera with a wide track that is also rear-wheel drive. The car also has an upgraded 3.8-litre engine producing 408 horsepower. An AWD version, the Carrera Ford GTS was revealed in May 2011. In addition to the AWD system, the Carrera Ford GTS can be identified by a distinct reflective stripe between the tail lights. 911 Speedster. For 2011, Porsche will make a new 911 Speedster. They will only make 356. The production number coming from the iconic car of the 1950s. It will be the third 911 Speedster made, the other two being from the 930 and 964 generations. The Speedster is powered by the same engine in the Carrera GTS, and produces 408 horsepower. It can go from 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds, and will reach a top speed of around 190 mph. Only two colors will be offered, pure blue and Carrara white. The Speedster features a windscreen 70 mm shorter than the standard 997 Cabrio while maintaining the same rake angle. GT3 RS 4.0. In April 2011, rumors of a 4.0-liter version of the 997 GT3 RS started appearing in various automotive publications, soon followed by supposed spy shots and rendered images. Eventually, Porsche revealed that they were making the 911 GT3 RS 4.0, the final evolution of the 997 featuring a 4.0-liter engine. The engine itself features the crankshaft from the RSR with increased stroke dimensions. This has increased the power to 500 PS at 8250 rpm and 460 Nm of torque at 5750 rpm. Chassis development has been influenced by the GT2 RS and uses parts sourced from other RS 911s. Front dive planes give additional downforce up front. The car weighs in at 1370 kg, giving it a power-to-weight ratio of 365 bhp per ton. Only 600 cars will be built. Engines, transmissions, all models include standard 6-speed manual transmission. 7-speed Porsche Doppelkupplung transmission is available in all but GT3, GT3 RS, GT3 Coupe, GT3 RS 4.0, GT2, GT2 RS, Sport Classic models. PDK transmission includes Sport Plus setting that includes launch control and motorsport-derived gear shifting. Performance. Physical, GT3 equipment. It is a line of accessories for Type 997 models of the GT3 and GT3 RS developed by Porsche's motorsport division in Weizsack, began sale in 2009 €09 for all regions except China. Part choices include titanium double tailpipe, carbon rear spoiler lip and rear lid ram air scoop, carbon front above bumper air outlet and rear view mirrors, forged aluminium 19-inch GT3 wheels with central locking. For first generation of the 911 GT3 and GT3 RS, there is also a model designation in various wheel colors extending round the wheel. Marketing. In June 2009 Porsche Cars North America partnered with 5 New York City street artists to unveil 5 graffiti-decorated Porsche 911 hoods in the Helmbeck Gallery. The hoods were sold to raise funds for City Arts, a New York City-based organization whose mission is to bring children in contact with public artists. References. Further reading, Geneva Giant, Porsche Euro unregistered trademark S Racebred 911 is back. Auto Week. Retrieved February 27, 2006. External links, official Porsche website, Porsche 911 Carrera updates for 2009 Motor Trend, Porsche 911 997 GT2 exterior and interior in full HD 3D, YouTube.